Hey everybody, this is Tad Hill along with my wonderful and talented wife Toni. This is Retire with Freedom, the show that helps you get the retirement that you want. And Toni, we've got some good conversations to have today. One is going to be about having tough conversations. But a lot of times those are good conversations that you need to have. We're going to talk about do-it-yourself retirement planning. So if you're going to do it yourself, what are the things you need to be thinking about? In today's Freedom Factor, we'll be going through our 5-step planning process and how that is designed to ensure that we leave no stone unturned. So we got a lot of stuff for you, and let's just jump right into tough conversations.
Yeah, one of the tough conversations we have to have, and this is often have to have if this hasn't already happened, is the death of a spouse, the first spouse that's no longer here.
Unfortunately.
And I mean, if some people come in and that's already been the case, they've already have a spouse passed away, and that's the reason they're coming to see us. But if that hasn't happened yet, typically that is something that we need to plan for, because a lot of times people are planning for retirement as if, we're both here, we're both going to retire at certain times. Let's figure out what happens around those circumstances. But what oftentimes gets missed is what happens when one of us isn't here anymore.
Right.
It could be the husband or the wife. If we're not here anymore, it's really going to change the landscape of what we're doing and how we're planning for things. I mean, just right off the top, one of the Social Security payments is going to go away. The smaller one will go away. It is the smaller one, but it still matters a lot.
A lot of people don't know how that works.
Right. So you get to keep the larger Social Security payment if you're left behind.
Regardless of whose it was.
Whoever's it was, you get that payment. But you're going to lose the smaller one, and that does affect your income. And maybe sometimes, that spouse is going to have to pull more money from maybe tax-deferred accounts or different things like that. That's going to affect a lot of things.
Speaking of which, their tax brackets are going to get higher because
quicker,
they're single filer.
Right.
And then, the other one that I see all the time is a pension decision got made years ago, thinking that, if one of us isn't around, the other one is going to need half as much money. And we talk about this a lot, but our experience is, yes, it doesn't take one person as much as it does two people to live, but it's not half. It's usually like 85%.
And sometimes it might be more. Let's say that if you're gone, I mean, not like you're that handy around the house, but if you're gone, there's stuff. I'm short. I can't reach a lot of things. I can't do a lot of things.
Well, you can't get me to do any of that stuff anyway.
I'm probably going to have to hire people. But for the handyman, if there's a handyman in your family that is no longer there, you're going to have to get people, maybe pay people to do other things around the house to help with things you can't do. And as you age, you're not going to be able to do the same things anymore. So I think the cost, I think it stays about the same. I mean, it may be a little less.
Well, and so the point is, and we see this a lot, people that come to see us are planners, right? You're not watching this television show if you're not a planner. But what people don't know is how to do all of this planning because they've never done it before. Right. So unless you're a retirement planner, your retirement is the first one you've ever planned. And so the thing that I see a lot is that people aren't planning for the death of a spouse.
Right.
They're planning for what it looks like the day that you retire.
Right.
And what we need to do is plan for the date of retirement is just the starting gun.
It is.
A lot of people view that as the finish line, and it's really just the starting gun.
Let's talk about the really tough conversation.
All right. What's that one?
Money, spending,
Too much spending.
And what is a consistent, sustainable lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
And too often people aren't really analyzing that and looking at that. Just, this is what I make, this is what I spend. I'm putting money in my 401k, and that's really all that's been kind of, or maybe I'm saving a little bit on the top of that. But they've never really analyzed and quantified how much does that actually need to be.
Well, and we go through a lifestyle analysis with our clients that is very quick and easy and misses nothing.
It's part of our process.
In fact, we talk a lot about this in our Retire with Freedom course that we do. And Toni, as you know, we do typically one a month. We do one at the Jeff State campus near our office in Inverness. And then we do one at the Hoover Library, sometimes the Vestavia Library. But for our viewers, this really is a deep dive into how to figure all this out. So I would encourage you to take some action and call or text the number on your screen and get registered for our next course, because that goes through not only all of these things that we need to be thinking about, but how to think about them.
Yeah, and so our process also talks about not just how we have these conversations, are we going to need nursing home? Do we have health care plan? Are the children involved? All of these different things that we need to speak about.
Right.
But how do we not just get families on track, but how do we keep them on track? And that's what our process does. We keep them on track, not just like in the beginning, but let's see how we're tracking. Let's measure it. How are we doing? Is everything working well? Is the lifestyle sustainable? Those kinds of things. And I don't think that's done well enough.
Well, I mean, those are all questions that if you're going to retire, you're going to need to know the answers to. And that's what our Retire with Freedom process does. And in today's Freedom Factor, I'm going to talk about that in more detail. But again, if you're less than 10 years away from retirement and you're asking yourself, how am I going to sustain my lifestyle? How much income am I needing to generate from my savings? How am I going to generate income from our savings and investments? You might have an advisor or somebody just telling you, oh, don't worry about it. You got plenty of money. We're going to get this huge rate of return. Everything's going to go up and to the right. Just pull out whatever you need. Everything will be fine. We actually go through in our retirement course and show you the math around all that. So we really encourage you to do one of two things. Sign up for our course where we will go through all of these planning processes and how to do it, or come see us and we can get very specific. We do a free analysis and a free stress test of your retirement and give you very specific feedback about where you stand and the things that you need to do to put yourself and your family in the best position possible. I strongly encourage you to take action to cement your retirement plan and come see us, come to our course, or come see us in our office. And call or text the number on the screen.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, time with grandchildren, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course?
We sit down with people just like you every day and help you plan the retirement of your dreams.
Our experience tells us that you've got some very important questions about retirement. What happens when my paychecks stop? How do I replace my income as securely as possible? What's the best way to protect my savings and investments so that they last as long as I live? Is my family going to be okay when I'm gone? We can show you how to answer these questions for you and your family. It all starts with our complimentary review.
Tad and Toni Hill and the team at Freedom Financial Group will develop a custom plan for you that fits your needs and meets your personal goals and helps ensure that you don't outlive your income in retirement.
The best retirement plan starts with a phone call.
We've helped hundreds of families in Birmingham protect their retirement. We're here to take care of you. Give us a call.
Call 205-988-0006 today to schedule a visit in our office on Valleydale Road.
Welcome back to Retire with Freedom, the show that helps you get the retirement you want. This is Tad Hill along with my wonderful wife, Toni. And Toni, we're going to talk about do-it-yourselfers.
Okay.
So people that are going to plan their own retirement and they're going to figure it all out.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, people love do-it-yourself projects. I mean, the
Some
home.
people do.
Yes, right.
I like projects I could pay somebody to do.
Yeah, HGTV is full of do-it-yourself projects and things that people really get into and love. But there are certain things in life you should not do yourself. Do-it-yourself surgery is probably a bad idea.
Right.
A scalpel and a hand mirror is not the way to do it. But I think real good retirement planning, when you want to get it right, you've got to go and get somebody who really knows how to have those conversations, what to talk about, what to think about, how to get things going. So, Ted, when you come
somebody that's done it hundreds
Right.
of times, because we talk about this in our course. Unless you're a retirement planner as your vocation, your retirement is the first one you've ever planned,
Right. Yeah.
And so what happens the first time we do stuff?
we're not going to do the best job we could possibly do.
Even if we're trying to get it right, because it matters, right? And so, we don't know the answers to our questions. We're not sure all of the things that we need to be thinking about. We're not even sure of all of the solutions that are available if we've never done something before. But in retirement planning, we get one chance to do it.
Right. Well, why do you think people do, what do you think makes people try to figure it out themselves instead of getting help? I mean, what do you think the biggest obstacle is?
So, in my experience, I know you've got plenty of it as well, one of the things is that maybe they've had a bad experience with an advisor in the past. And so they're concerned about being taken advantage of. or someone wasn't getting them the growth that they wanted, and they started investing themselves, and they were growing the money as well as their advisor was. And the hard thing about retirement planning is we're not in growth mode anymore. You know, we've spent our whole life growing the money, and frankly, that's not the hard part. The hard part is how do we take your life savings, protect it, generate income, and have a high degree of certainty that the money's going to last. But I think bad experiences and just feeling like, oh, well, I can do that, I don't need help.
And you know, I was going to add on to that a little bit. You know, a lot of times when people come in and they really haven't ever had an advisor, they've just had a 401k,
Right.
They kind of just think we're all the same. It's all the same, I can do it, it's fine. You know, this one's not any different than that one kind of thing too.
Well, that's a really good point, because our Retire with Freedom process is a 5-step process, and we're going to talk about that in our Freedom Factor today, but it's a 5-step process that we follow to ensure that we have built a complete retirement plan. And there's a lot that goes into that, more than just, oh, hey, how do we manage your investments?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of questions that have to be answered, and actually that's one thing that we do at our retirement course, is we go through and show people how do you answer all these questions. So I would encourage you to call or text the number on the screen and get signed up for our next retirement course, or even better, come in for a free consultation where we will take your specific situation and analyze it completely and do a stress test for you. So I think doing both of those things is very valuable, but certainly take some action and do one of them.
And well, I think one of the things that actually triggers people that have been doing it themselves to come see us is, and they listen to us or something, they went to a course or something, and they realize that they don't have an income plan, that they've been investing their money while they were working, and they still thought they wanted to do it after they retire. But then they realize, what am I going to do when we start needing that money to live on? How do I sustain it? I mean, this is a different animal than just investing it and just having it sit over there and grow.
I hear that all the time, and I know you do too. Hey, what inspired you to come see us? Well, I've been doing all this myself, but I realized that I'm actually going to have to start, I and my family are going to have to start living on this money.
It's going to feed us, yeah.
And it's not enough to just grow it and not touch it. We're about to have to start living on it. How do we do that? How do we turn it into income? And then another one is, a lot of the times the do-it-yourselfers, they're the ones that have done it all and their spouse hasn't. And so one of the reasons they'll come in is, hey, I feel like I'm fine doing this, but I know that if I'm not around, usually it's the men that have done it all, not always, but most of the time, I know if I'm not around, I want to make sure that I've had a hand in helping pick someone that's going to be taking care of my spouse. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of things that go into quality retirement planning. It's about a lot more than what percentage of stocks and bonds do you need. What are you going to do about Social Security? What's the best strategy there? Your pension, should you pay your house off? Are there ways to be more tax efficient? Should you be considering Roth conversions, that sort of thing? There's a lot that goes into this. Our Retire with Freedom process is designed to help you answer those questions, and we know how to help you because we've helped hundreds of people do exactly that. So I strongly encourage you to take some action, call or text the number on your screen, and either come in for a free consultation where we will do a full stress test for you and then go through your circumstances, the good things and the things that need to be addressed, or come to our course. We do one at Jeff State in Inverness and one at the Hoover or Vestavia Library. Give us a call, the number on your screen, call or text. We know how to help you, but you've got to take some action. We'll be right back with the Freedom Factor.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, time with grandchildren, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course?
We sit down with people just like you every day and help you plan the retirement of your dreams.
Our experience tells us that you've got some very important questions about retirement. What happens when my paychecks stop? How do I replace my income as securely as possible? What's the best way to protect my savings and investments so that they last as long as I live? Is my family going to be okay when I'm gone? We can show you how to answer these questions for you and your family. It all starts with our complimentary review.
Tad and Toni Hill and the team at Freedom Financial Group will develop a custom plan for you that fits your needs and meets your personal goals and helps ensure that you don't outlive your income in retirement.
The best retirement plan starts with a phone call.
We've helped hundreds of families in Birmingham protect their retirement. We're here to take care of you. Give us a call.
Call 205-988-0006 today to schedule a visit in our office on Valleydale Road.
Welcome back. So today we've had a discussion about tough conversations. We've talked about if you're going to do all of this yourself. Well, I think this is a good time to go back through what a complete retirement planning process looks like. And our retirement planning process is called Retire with Freedom. And for you regular viewers, you've seen this a few times, but I think it bears repeating. The first step is we've got to get a picture of what you want. What matters to you? What do you want to spend your time, energy, resources in retirement doing? We've really got to nail that down. One statistic that's surprising for people is if you're working a 40-hour work week, you work 2,080 hours a year. So we've got to have a plan for what you're going to spend that time doing. And then we stress test what you're doing now. Now, our stress test illuminates two things. It shows us the things that are going well, that if we as retirement planners were you and your family, these are the things we would be feeling really good about. Then it also shows us the things that need to be addressed, either risks that need to be avoided or eliminated, or strategies that you are currently in that need to be changed for some reason or improved. A lot of times we're just answering questions that we aren't sure of the answer to, such as how much longer do you need to work? How are you going to actually generate income from your savings and investments in retirement? There's a big difference between an income plan and just having a bucket of stocks and bonds that you're going to pull money out of. In fact, in our retirement course that we deliver, we do one at Jeff State in the Inverness campus right near our office, and we do one at the Hoover Library, sometimes the Vestavia Library. We actually go into a deep dive of income planning and all the ways to generate income in retirement. And we also show you the math around if you're overexposed to the stock market and you're just pulling money out and you go through a series of bad returns, particularly early in your retirement, we show you the math around this in this course. And so I will tell you, if I'm you and you're within 10 years or less of retirement, I would strongly encourage you to call or text the number on the screen and get signed up for our next course, because that's the format where we are able to really go deep into how to answer these questions and how to go through each of the steps of this process. So that the stress test is critical. Then we go into the design phase, which is where we collaboratively, our team and you and your family, put together a design so that we are creating as much certainty as possible in your retirement plan, and that we are answering all those questions and fixing the issues that the stress test illuminated. So the design is really important. Then we build the plan, we execute the plan. And everybody that comes to see us are planners by nature. So if you're not a planner by nature, you're probably not watching this television show. You're not going to come to our course. But if you are a planner, then you are looking for a planning process like this to help you figure out your retirement. But my experience tells me that even if you are a planner, your thought process is stopping here in the build process. In other words, what do we need to do? How do we need to do it? But I want you to benefit from our experience because we've helped hundreds of families do this. The most important piece of our 5-step process is the 5th one, which is who is going to guide you through all this. So we talked about doing it yourself. We talked about a lot of different things today. We've got another segment coming up where we're going to discuss some other important things, but the most important thing is who's going to guide you. And let me make this simple. There's 2 options. You can guide yourself and figure all this out, in which case you don't need our help or anybody else's. Or you can get help and guidance, and we can help you or someone else can do it. It really is that simple. But if you get the guide piece wrong, the rest of the first 4 steps have a high likelihood of not going as well as they could. If you get the guide piece right, that's going to introduce a lot of certainty and particularly a process that we want to follow to ensure that we've got the most rock-solid retirement plan possible. So getting that guide piece right can really have a positive impact on your retirement. And again, I would encourage you to sign up to come see us So come see us for a visit where we will actually do a stress test for you, a free analysis, or sign up for the course where we will do a deep dive. I would encourage you to do both, but take some action. Either come see us, sit down, have us do a free analysis for you, or come to the course. And again, here's the process that we follow: 5 steps: get a picture, stress test, design, build, and guide. Now, what should you do next? Well, I just covered it. I would really encourage you to take action. If you're less than 10 years away from retirement, and Toni talks about having a feeling in the pit of your stomach that maybe there's just something that hasn't been done, or there's something that you're exposed to that you're not clear on how to fix. Any questions that you've got in your mind that you feel like maybe you don't have the full answer for, take some action, give us a call or text, come see us, come to our course. We know how to help you, and we are looking forward to helping you.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, time with grandchildren, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course?
We sit down with people just like you every day and help you plan the retirement of your dreams.
Our experience tells us that you've got some very important questions about retirement. What happens when my paychecks stop? How do I replace my income as securely as possible? What's the best way to protect my savings and investments so that they last as long as I live? Is my family going to be okay when I'm gone? We can show you how to answer these questions for you and your family. It all starts with our complimentary review.
Tad and Toni Hill and the team at Freedom Financial Group will develop a custom plan for you that fits your needs and meets your personal goals and helps ensure that you don't outlive your income in retirement.
The best retirement plan starts with a phone call.
We've helped hundreds of families in Birmingham protect their retirement. We're here to take care of you. Give us a call.
Call 205-988-0006 today to schedule a visit in our office on Valleydale Road.
And we're back. This is Retire with Freedom, the show that helps you get the retirement that you want. I'm Tad Hill, along with my wife, Toni Hill, and we are about to talk about financial planning as if it was your mom.
Okay.
So your mom's teaching you how to do financial planning, and she's telling you all the stuff that we grew up hearing.
All the things.
So take it away.
Yeah, I never loved this one. In fact, both my parents said this one. When I wanted to ask why I was being made or told to do something, they would say, just because I said so.
Right, yeah.
So I hate because I said so. I like to know why I'm doing things. But when it
we
comes
made
to,
other mistakes as parents, but we didn't make that one.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I'm the same way. It's like, okay,
you
just
need to
tell
know-
me why.
Right, tell me why. So the thing about financial planning, if you're going to someone for advice and your advisor is just telling you to do things without any explanations or explanations that you can understand,
Right.
You know, if they're talking over your head or they're not using things that, you know, conversations that they can actually explain it to you in a way that you understand what you're doing, you know, that's just not good enough. I hate it when people, I go somewhere and I'm trying to get advice and I leave with a bigger question mark over my head than I had when I started. And so what I always say is you need to know 5 things about your money. You do not have to be some kind of financial guru, but if you can go and talk to somebody and they can help you understand 5 things, these 5 things about your money, I think you're going to feel really comfortable. And this is the 5 things. What do I have? Why do I have it?
Yeah.
What's it going to do for me? When will it start doing that for me? And for how long? If you know those 5 things about your money, all that technical mumbo jumbo stuff is really kind of irrelevant, but you do need to understand those things.
Well, I mean, just to dovetail into that, it is so common that we sit down with families and they have investments, but they're not really sure what the design is and what each of them are for and what role it plays.
Yeah, they don't have the why. Why do we have this?
Right. You know, annuities, a lot of times, people will come in with annuities and they don't really know what role it's going to play in their retirement
Or
plan.
how they're
Now,
going to use it. Yeah.
now, we're not anti-annuity. You know, we particularly certain types of fixed annuities we like for certain things. But if we're going to use a strategy, we need to know why we're doing it. You know, why did you pull the hammer out of your tool bag instead of the Phillips head screwdriver? And a lot of times people don't know. They just they say, well, you know, I told.
Because my buzzer told me to.
Right. He told me I needed to do some stuff, and they don't really know why. And a good retirement planning process, Toni, should be common sense. It should be plain English, and anyone should be able to understand it. And if those things don't exist, you might want to get a second opinion. If you're feeling like I don't know what my strategy is. I don't know what the plan is. I know I've saved $1 million or $2 million or $500,000 or whatever. I just don't know how all of this is going to work so that it's going to last. Then I would strongly encourage you to get a second opinion. And really, there's two ways you can do that. You can sign up for our retirement course, or you can come see us in person, and we will sit down with you one-on-one and go through and help you analyze where you stand. In fact, we will do our retirement stress test for you, completely free, no charge. And the retirement course, we'll do that for the people that come see us in person. The retirement course is 2.5 hours of us doing a deep dive into all the questions you need to be asking and answering for your retirement plan. So take some action. We know how to help you, but you do have to take some action. Call or text the number on your screen, sign up to come visit with us, or sign up for the course. So Toni, what's the next one on the financial planning with mom?
Yeah, financial planning with mom, it's like, if all of your friends did it, if all of your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do it too?
Yeah, so in retirement planning, this happens a lot. People do things because their coworkers did it, or their neighbor, or a family member. Well, my brother's really smart with money. What that usually means is they've made a lot of money. So one of the misunderstandings that happens is that people assume if you or someone you know has a lot of money, then somehow that qualifies you to actually understand all the things around financial planning and investment planning and that sort of thing. And maybe they do have a level of understanding, but really they're well-intentioned.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But they're not retirement planners, and people really should, if you want to get it right, if you want to get this whole retirement thing right, which is, here's what people care about. We're going to stop working, the paychecks are going to stop. How do we make sure we can maintain our lifestyle, not run out of money, and not have to worry about it? Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, how often do you hear that?
That's right. All the time. Every time somebody comes in. But and really want to know, like, who's driving this bus? I mean, or who are you getting advice from?
Right.
And are they qualified to give that advice?
Yes. So get yourself a second opinion and give us a call or a text on the number on your screen. Come to our course or come visit with us. We can help you figure this out. We've helped hundreds of people, and we would love to help you.